So I hope you enjoyed the video, but now let's kind of recap the video and pull out what we need. For that, I'm going to put up my board. Okay. How did the video start? It started out with nothingness, right? Oftentimes in ancient cultures, nothingness was more described as a wild water, the primordial waters, that chaos that existed before there was any kind of ordered creation. And within that, there was a snake, right? And in the lap of the snake, there was the god Vishnu. So we're going to write down Vishnu. And Vishnu was asleep in the lap of the snake until the sound of the Om started to wake him up, right? Om. And Vishnu wakes up. And the lotus flower comes out of his navel. And on top of the lotus flower sits another god, which is Brahma. So we'll put Brahma here. And Brahma is the one who creates the world, makes the vegetation grow, who places the animals into the creation and makes a beautiful world. But then at the end we hear that there comes the big destroyer. There comes Shiva. And so each one of these three gods, they have their certain functions, right? So Brahma becomes the creator. Vishnu is the sustainer. And Shiva is the destroyer. Well, do you like Shiva? So first, maybe most people initially don't like Shiva very much because Shiva is the destroyer. But then again, think about it. If you never ever throw anything out in your house or your apartment, if you let the garbage pile up, if you never get rid of something, then there is no room for new things, right? Shiva has a very important job to clear things out and to make room for new things. While we now have only three male gods up here, male deities, they have their female counterparts. Brahma is married to Saraswati. And Vishnu is married to Lakshmi. And Shiva is married to Parvati. And so you have to think about this whole thing more as a circular thing, not as we oftentimes think about it in the West, that something has a beginning and has an end, that there is the beginning of creation, and then at the end there comes a judgment day, and all of in between happens the history, and then the universe is over, which is a linear thinking. In Hinduism, it is a circular thinking, that Brahma is there to create, right? And then comes Vishnu, who sustains everything. And then Shiva destroys it again. And then it comes back to the beginning again so that Brahma can create new. There's not just one universe in Hinduism. There is one universe after the other. And not even linear like that. They could even be overlapping in some ways. And we just happen to live in one universe. Think about our life, right? We are born at one point, and that's when we are created. And we grow and we grow, and then we get sustained. We have our midlife, and where we are most productive, where we can do new things. But then we get old, and at some point we'll die. Now back to the question whether Hinduism is polytheistic or monotheistic. This seems fairly polytheistic, right? There are at least 6 gods already. And when you research a little bit more, you will notice that there are not just 6 gods in Hinduism. There are thousands of gods. most people don't even know all the different gods because they come up in mythological stories in different areas in India, and in certain regions certain deities are venerated more than in others. These are the main ones that every Indian would know. But scholars say that these are not separate gods. These gods are really the incarnations or the functions of the larger principle, which is Brahman. Brahman is the ultimate reality. And each one of these gods are aspects of Brahman. So Hinduism actually understands itself to be monotheistic, and that all the different deities that are being talked about and are being venerated are all various different aspects of the one principle, Brahman. Now, that is not exactly the kind of monotheism that we are used to from Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. It is a different way of thinking about God. God is more of a principle rather than a personalized God. We might want to stop here for a moment and give you a chance to watch a short video clip by Deepak Chopra, who is explaining the question, why is there evil in the world, right? And if God is good, for example, why would there be evil things? And Deepak Chopra has an interesting answer to that when he doesn't think about a personalized God the way that we do in the West, but about Brahman as a principle, as a divine principle. So we'll stop here for a moment so you have a chance to watch Deepak Chopra, and then we'll be back.